Nacho Average Tabletop. Woohoo!
Welcome to Not Your Average Tabletop. I'm Zach, and for today's rules recipe, we're going to be looking at Karuba. The ingredients that make up Karuba are a rulebook, 4 player boards, 4 sets of jungle tiles, 4 sets of adventures and temples, multiple scoring tokens, and gold and crystal nuggets. To set up the game of Karuba, each player will take an island and place it in front of them, along with 4 adventurers of each different color and the matching temple. They'll also take 36 jungle tiles with the identical color on the back. I would recommend putting these into numerical order as you get them from 1 to 36, splitting them into 3 rows of 12. Note there will be one player who will keep their tiles in a baggie. For each temple color, there will be a corresponding temple treasure. Depending on the number of players, you'll have to take out a certain amount of these treasures. For example, in a 2-player game, you'll only be playing with the 5 and 3 point level treasures. While in a 4-player game, you'll be playing with all 4 point value treasures. You'll create a face-up stack for each treasure color, 4 stacks in total, and place the stacks in the middle of the table, sorted in descending order of value. Place the other temple treasures back into the box. Also, you want to place the crystals and golden nuggets somewhere easy to reach in the middle of the table. Before each game, players cooperatively decide where to place their adventures and temples. Each island should have all the adventures and temples placed in exactly the same positions. In other words, all of the islands must look the same before the game begins. Place the adventures on the number on the beach and place the temples on the numbers of the jungles. Each player chooses an adventure and places it on any number on the beach. Next, place a temple of the same color on a number in the jungle. A minimum of 3 numbers distance between an adventure and temple of the same color. All the other players then place their adventures and temples of the same color on these numbers as well. All adventures and temples are set up in this way so that in a 3-player game, one player determines the position of 2 adventures and 2 temples, whereas in a 2-player game, both players decide twice. Once everything has been set up, the goal of the game is to lay out a path in the jungle to be the quickest player to reach your temples for the treasures within them. The expedition leader, or the person who kept their tiles in a bag or put them in a pile, will reveal the topmost tile of the stack and calls out the number of the tile in a clear voice.
19.
All other players then look for that tile in their stockpile at the same time. You now have 2 options with what to do with this tile. The 2 options for this tile are to either lay it on your island or discard the tile and move adventurers. When choosing to lay the tile on your island, you can lay it anywhere on the board as long as the number is in the top left corner. When a tile is called with a crystal or golden nugget on it and you choose to place it on your board, you will also take one of the crystals or golden nuggets from the supply and add it to that tile, to be later picked up by your adventurer. You're able to move your adventure up to the number of spaces of roads leading off the edge of the tile. So in this case, I could move any one adventure up to 2 spots. However, this player may want to move their adventure only 1 spot so that they're able to pick up the crystal and add it to their player board. Movement points may always be forfeited, however, they may never be distributed amongst several adventurers. Once an adventurer moves to a temple, the corresponding player takes the most valuable treasure of this temple color remaining from the stack in the middle of the table and places it in front of them. The adventurer will then stay put at the temple until the end of the game. If several players reach a temple of the same color in the same turn, each of them receives the same number of victory points. One player takes the most valuable treasure of this temple from the stack, then the others take the less valuable treasures from the same stack and make up the difference with crystals and golden nuggets. There are 2 things that trigger the end of the game. Either the last of the 36 jungle tiles is uncovered by the expedition leader, or all 4 adventurers of 1 player have reached their temples, whichever occurs first. The winner of the game is the player with the most points as scored via temple treasure with the values on them. Golden nuggets are worth 2 points apiece, and crystals are worth 1 point apiece. Remember to note, gold nuggets and crystals still on the tiles on your islands are not scored as victory points. The player with the highest number of points wins. In the event of a tie, the winner will be the one of the tied players who has the most jungle tiles on their island. If there is still a tie, these players are joint winners. Thank you for watching the short rules recipe on Karuba. If you want to see more on the game, check out our other videos below. Keep on nibbling.